All right, welcome back to MDawg. So, kind of settling in here. The strategic decision of when do I record, when do I just fish. I thought we would record this session overnight fishing here. I've got my old account on my other computer. I'm doing a little test, sort of do some comparison here. So, if you see, like, let me scroll up here. First two fish I caught on my old account. See what I did there? Were trophy. So with boilies and PVA, it's a very high trophy bite rate. Now we're using bread, sweet cream, and bread, and catching tons of crucian gibbles. Also had one trophy on bread, and so I'm actually going to switch all three to bread. It's nice to see that trophy is possible on bread. Not a surprise. It's, trophy rates you're not going to keep up with boilies in this kind of situation. Next time we catch a fish on this middle rod, by the way, we'll switch that one to bread as well. Need to be a little bit careful with these friction brakes. But this is the kind of situation we're looking for. I mean, we have settled into... Go ahead and put these points in. We have settled into fishing, bottom fishing. We're 22.7, which means we are not far from Paternoster. And what we really want is classic hair rig, 35. Now, how long does it take to get there? How much time do I have to fish? All that. But that is what's absolutely destroying this spot in terms of catching lots of trophies. But it is nice that for Captain Santiago, first trophy is a sweet, just crucian carp here on wet bread at Mosquito. Love to see that. Super excited about that. And once again, I'll keep you updated on if we hit any more trophies on either account. And if you're curious, by the way, what most people are catching all these trophies on in this spot at Mosquito is like strawberry and raspberry sinking boilies with strawberry dip. 15, 16, that size boilies is what's getting it done. So we will see how that goes. Now, with the silver we're going to make off of this, which we'll make a little bit of silver here, the next thing we're going to purchase for Captain Santiago here is definitely going to be shovel and the ability to make some tea. Notice that the trophy size crucian carp here, almost 20 silver for one fish. So, I mean, we're big time in, especially a spot that produces like a reasonable amount of trophies. You love to see it. I don't think we have... Yeah, we're not closing in on roach. We could certainly go for that, but I don't know that that's worth our time. So we're just trying to really get the bottom fishing percentage up. There's another nice fish. And we're trying to get our ground bait skill up, which means we're both using ground bait and then also making ground bait as often as we can. If we did have tea, this would be a great time to be drinking tea because of the comfort level. Tea does give you some comfort back. Let me take this opportunity to quickly talk about skills. So if you were on my stream earlier, we actually did about 4 hours of playing Captain Santiago, and those levels are those hours of playtime are now on YouTube, so you can go back and check out parts 2 and 3 of this series. This should be part 4 if I've calculated everything correctly, but we did go ahead and put some points in. So let me just kind of show you where we put the points. We've got 4 points in spinning reel. We've got 3 points with fishing with a feeder rod. So that's 7 points. And then we have 1 point in harvesting worms so that our digging will be a little bit more successful. If we can afford it, we may do 1 more point. I wouldn't max it out, but 1 to 2 points sounds good to me. And then the first points that I usually put in are actually in making ground bait. If you put 3 points in making ground bait, you will always make at least above average ground bait, which should make it more effective, should make your fishing more successful. I don't necessarily need to max this out, in my opinion, until we get much higher level in dealing with PVA. But for now, to be able to make 6 out of 10, you know, on at sort of minimum 6 out of 10 on ground bait, perfect. Like, that's what I want. Points in bottom fishing there, by the way. Uh-oh. All right, if you look in chat, there's another one on boilies, 2.18. Not only is it trophies, but some of these are big trophies. So it's 4:21 in the morning. Trophy potential between now and, well, I think this spot is so good right now you could catch them all day, off and on, but especially till about 8 or 9 a.m. You see that Rogue, USEC in chat also just had a Crucian trophy. So plenty of Crucian gibbles coming out. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but the other thing we've changed is we're using large one hooks. The only one I'm still using a smaller hook is this third one. The trophy did come in on the larger hook, but I think you'd still occasionally get a trophy on the 14s. And the 14s, no doubt, will give you a much better bite rate. I really wanted to kind of sit on the, you know, increase my chance of trophy. Is why I've sort of gone with the bigger hook sizes for right this moment. But that's probably not permanently where I want to sit. Once again, another point in bottom fishing. So let's see where we're at. Really, the big difference to me, 23.3 is where we're at. The big difference to me on boilies versus using these natural baits, well, one thing is your profit's higher on natural baits, but you're getting so many trophies on boilies that, you know, you're making plenty of silver on boilies for sure. But I saw somebody earlier in chat talking about how they're, you know, you might not want to use PVA because it cuts into your profit. Listen, when you're catching this percentage of trophies that are worth like almost 20 silver a fish, you know, making a 60 stack of PVA that might cost you, I don't know, 25, 30 silver. Like, that's I mean, don't worry about that. You got 60 pieces of PVA. You're going to make that up in 1 or 2 fish. Don't, you know, once you've unlocked PVA, don't feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't use PVA because the cost. Now, fishing for Crucian gibble, you might not want to crush up 1,000,000 boilies and put in there. Boilies could get more expensive. But even with that, I wouldn't worry about it. If the quality of fishing is good, you're going to make your money. So I just really wouldn't worry about. I would feed the water when it's carp species. I would feed the water however you can. Whether that's ground bait, throw the ground bait, use the ground bait. This has not caught a fish in a while. I'm going to switch this to bread. I think bread is the bait of choice for right now. I tried semolina and I tried sweet dough. They were both okay. Semolina was much better than sweet dough, but bread to me is just doing great. So, and bread is basically free because you need to craft a bunch of bread just to level up your early stages of bait harvesting. So you're just making profit. So now we are getting into the swing of things. You know, we're trying to think about all of this in terms of, for the most part, in terms of like preparing for locations. So when we think about going to Old Berg, you know, we might upgrade these reels a little bit, but I mean, we can fish for bream with this setup. And there have been some good bream spots at Old Berg lately. I think 1044 is a good one right now. So, wow. Now this could be a common carp, to be honest. It doesn't have to be a big crucian gibble, but it's okay. Oh, is this a gibble trophy? How amazing would that be if we had both crucian and gibble in the same session? That is a big old gibble, by the way. 2.364. All right, Santiago, that's just like a little bit of a flex there. And this is on bread, y'all. We're doing this on bread. Now, it was large one hook. If you want to increase your chance of trophy, put the big hooks on. But for efficiency, at least 1 or 2 of your setups, I'd have 14. So you're, because again, you're always wanting to be catching volume of fish, especially in this kind of situation. You want to be leveling up bottom fishing. But let's just check real quick. I'm curious, which is worth more? Yeah, the gibble's worth over 20. So very nice trophies there. And just for fun, we can look at our trophy card for mosquito, and we now have the crucian and the gibble, which very, very cool. I love that, to have that this early in the process for Capt. That's pretty cool. So a little update on boilies. We're still catching, you know, like 1+ kilo crucian gibbles pretty consistently. On average, the fish are bigger on boilies, but the bite rate is a little better on wonder if we should try the strawberry extract. Oh, it's all sold out. I bet that's what people are using. Not that it seems to matter, but since that's the dip that's sold out, I bet that's what people are using. Decent one. $7 a.m. So I will probably take the old account offline here soon. I just wanted to get like a comparison on trophy and average sizes. Always interested to see how natural baits are doing compared to boilies. But we'll give it a couple more minutes because probably want to keep everything online till about 9 a.m. just to see what comes in. Now I want to go to, maybe for the next night, I want to go to Volkov and try that, try getting the right dip. I'm also using, like, for what it's worth, I'm using like, most people are using, I think, the fresh raspberry boilies. I'm also trying out some of the raspberry boilies from the Christmas fair. And instead of just regular strawberry, I also put some forest strawberry boilies on there. So I'm kind of just mixing it up a little bit. Everything seems to be working for these, though. I mean, these are not hard fish to catch, but it's fun to get such a percentage of trophies. And we're at 76 fish right now, by the way. All right, there it is. See what this is? Oh, it's another decent one. Yeah. I like when there's a nice mix of gibbles and crucians. I think that's very fun. Now, because we're using ground bait and just sort of on principle, I guess, once I, by the way, on boilies, just caught a tench. Once I unlock Paternoster at 25%, so that's going to be coming up very soon for Capt. Common carp also caught on boilies, by the way. Common carp are here, so if you use you know, even just bread. Common carp will occasionally go for bread. So if you catch something that feels like it's, you know, like much stronger than most of stuff you're catching, you probably just ran into a common carp. So let's see if this fish gives us a point. I was hoping we'd get another point so I could show you what I meant. Nah. All right, I'll pull up our skills real quick. All right, so we are at 24.5. When that hits 25%, which really might just be the next time I hit record and record for a few minutes. Watch chat real quick. Yeah, it's just another one. It's just the percentage of trophies right now. It's just one of those things. Look at chat. I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. It's like 8:20 in the morning and they're still just coming in back to back. How many trophies is that now? So that's 5 trophies in less than one night on the old account. 2 trophies on bread, 5 on boilies so far. All right, 24.7. So potentially we could get it in like 2 more fish. I'd love to be able to do it on this video. Depends on how good the quality of fish remains. All right, let me see. Strawberry 15, wait. Strawberry 15, raspberry 15. So that's the one from the Christmas fair. Strawberry 15, raspberry 16. That's the regular one. Strawberry, oh, forest, fresh raspberry. That means that all 3 setups are catching them at about the same rate. Honestly, like, there's not a whole lot of difference in terms of the trophies coming in on the boilies. You put strawberry and raspberry in the water right now, you're probably going to do really well. Which does make me want to think about trying, what if we used like a raspberry boilie and strawberry corn, or vice versa, something like that on a pop-up. My guess is that would also work really well. We're at 85 fish. We still haven't gotten another point in bottom fishing. This is one area where, well, I say this in general, hopefully if you are playing this game, you enjoy the grind. But this is one area where it's especially noticeable. If you don't have premium, you're, you know, getting points in crafting stuff and different types of fishing. It just slows way down. Where if you have premium, it still slows down, but it's not as noticeable this early. We're just gonna have to get lucky on some random fish giving us a point if we're gonna be able to see it in this video. Might have to show it to you next time. Sure, as soon as I stopped recording, I would hit it, but that is 88 fish. Gonna be a lot of silver too. I mean, for really just throwing in a bunch of bread. We're big time. I also just love the bite rate, like how fast we're going through these stacks of ground bait. Just keep making more ground bait, keep making more bread, and you're just profit-wise really doing so well. I don't know if using different baits would give us a better chance of leveling up bottom fishing. I suspect catching a different fish species would. Like, we probably ought to give the Crucian gibbles a break soon. There it is. All right, 25%. So this is what I wanted to show you. So now I'm switching to Paternoster. Let's look at that again. So if you go to your basic bottom, it tells you it's a basic bottom fishing rig. A weight is attached to the main line with a knot or a treble swivel. Universal for use in still water and in currents. There's another trophy, by the way, on boilies. This rig is low sensitivity but fast auto hooking. So that's what it says about basic bottom. But because we got to 25% in bottom fishing, we have now unlocked Paternoster, which it says the rig's characteristic feature is that feeder is attached to a leader. So this feeder where we're putting this ground bait is actually off the main line. This is a universal rig with medium sensitivity and auto hooking of the hook, auto setting of the hook. So I actually like switching to this now that we're able to. We'll see if we can catch a fish off of it. Something's got a fish on. So now we can start switching all of them to Paternoster. Put them on 56 gram quiver tip. Quiver tip just has to do with how sensitive the bite is. The larger the fish, the heavier the quiver tip. If you're going for like rough or really small stuff, you want a real light quiver tip. That's the only difference there. I don't think between basic bottom and Paternoster, I don't think we're going to see a huge difference in bite rate or performance. If you're not using ground bait, sometimes it's worth, in my opinion, trying basic bottom some. All right, here we go. There it is. Intricate foreign word. Talking about Paternoster. That's the achievement. Okay. I think we can go ahead and wrap this up for this little episode. We are, in fact, about to be at 95 fish after all. Yeah, if you see in chat, we just had another gibble, 2.6. I mean, these fish are actually just massive. See what we catch here, and then I'm not gonna cast these back in on the main account because we're gonna give this a break. Yeah, the amount of trophies, just kind of crazy. Okay, so let's catch a couple more fish on Paternoster, and then let's just go cash out, see how we did. Make sure nothing new on the cafe, and then just go ahead and cash out. All right, there we go. Okay, nothing new on cafe. I guess we'd eventually get there on, by the way, I did have a tench on the main, on the old account, so we'll be able to do that. All right, let's see how we did. So we got those trophies, 183 silver total, very good, we'll take that. Happy to be at a 195, which means next time I make a video, I will be, you know what, I better do it right now. So I'm gonna stop fishing, and let me just show you the how-to, because I'm gonna want to be using this immediately, even when I'm not fishing on video. So let me go ahead and do this really quick. I want to check that cafe really quick on my old account, just since we know we have that tench just sitting in our inventory. Easy silver. So what is that? 16, 27, 28, and just a bunch of quick trophies. Yeah, so we made in about, let me see, how much fishing was that? All right, it's 27 minutes. So in 27 minutes, we made about 220 silver. Pretty good. But that's with boilies. You know, that's with boilies. Okay, so real quick. What we need to buy, 2 things, 3 things, maybe more. We want to get a tea kettle, which cost us 19.9 silver. We want to get a shovel, which costs us 38. So we're at 58 silver. We want to get not sandpaper, but matches, which we can do 50 of them for 35 cents. And we want to get firewood, which we'll do 10 for 7 silver. So we still have 130 silver. The only other thing we need is to buy some tea. Really hoping it's in stock. It is. We'll just get a couple of packs here so I can show you how this works. Now we go over to the camp over here, and we will craft a few tea. Okay, so put shovel in number 4. At least that's what I like to do. Pull it out with number 4, and then start digging. Level up our bait harvesting. Also important, we get some red worms. That's going to be really nice for winding and other things. But we need to craft tea because tea gives us our energy back. Plus, crafting so much is going to make us... digging so much is going to make us very hungry. Alright, where is the fire? Here it is. Start a fire. We hit Y to start a fire. And you have to have the matches and the firewood in your inventory to do that. We're not going to make baked potatoes, but we are going to make tea. So you have the tea kettle here. Click on the tea, pack of tea. And then we'll just do this over and over. I guess we do it 19 more times. So now it should say 18. Yep. So I won't make you watch all this. But notice every time we make a tea, when we successfully make a tea, we get to level up our cooking. So once again, something else that is leveling up. Okay, now, if you hold down T on your keyboard, you can then click on the tea that you've just made, or you can put it over here on the number. So number 5, we drank some tea. That will slowly start to fill our hunger bar up, and it'll slowly start giving us energy back so that we can continue to shovel. Okay, wanted to show you that so that I could be using it between these next sessions that I record. I'll see you next time. Tight lines, everybody.